Hello, my name is Grace, and I currently live in Toronto, Canada. I am a teacher, a wife, and a proud mother of two wonderful children. From the outside, my life seemed perfect. A stable career, a loving family, and a faith that I believed was unshakable. However, I have been carrying something inside me for a long time, something I never imagined I would share with anyone. What I'm about to tell you could change the way you perceive life, sin, and redemption. I would love to know where you are listening to this testimony from. Please leave a comment below and share your location. I want to learn more about you and your story, and maybe we can support each other on this journey of reflection and transformation. I'm looking forward to reading your messages and continuing this conversation with all of you. It all started one evening after a long, tiring day at work. I remember lying in bed, feeling an exhaustion beyond the ordinary, but I ignored that feeling. Then everything went black. It was as if I was being pulled into a distant void, and no matter how hard I tried to resist, I couldn't. I was dying, although I didn't quite understand what that meant. What happened next, however, was not what I expected. Suddenly, I found myself before him, Jesus. I had prayed to him many times, but in that moment, in his presence, I realized just how little I truly understood his love, his power, his truth. When he looked at me, it seemed like he could see beyond me, penetrating every thought, every action I had tried to hide. I perhaps expected a little comfort, a word to reassure me that everything would be all right, but instead, he showed me something that transformed my perception of everything. He began to reveal specific moments from my life, and suddenly, he stopped at a crucial point. It was something I had always regarded as a private matter, something of little importance: masturbation. For years, I thought it was something harmless, that it hurt no one, and that it was under my control. However, in that moment, Jesus revealed to me the profound impact it had on my life. He showed me how this habit opened doors to the enemy, allowing him to attack my spiritual life. Every time I gave in to this urge, I weakened my relationship with God. At the same time, I was giving the enemy more room to act. That's when Jesus revealed a truth to me that I had never imagined. He explained how the enemy was using this sin against me as if it were an accusation before God, saying, "Look, she lives in sin. She has made it an idol, and she disobeys your commandments." I felt completely ashamed and defenseless, as if there were no way out. But then, what happened next changed everything. Jesus didn't turn his back on me or condemn me. He looked at me with immense love and said, "You don't have to live like this anymore. You can be free." What happened next was, without a doubt, a miracle. If you've ever felt trapped, ashamed, or lost in sin, or if you've struggled with something you thought you could never overcome, please keep following me. The truth I'm about to share could transform your life, just as it transformed mine. Before we embark together on this incredible journey, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anyone who needs to hear this powerful message. And if you've had a similar experience or want to share a prayer, leave a comment. Let's build a community where we can support one another, lifting each other up in this journey of life. Believe me, you won't want to miss what's coming. I still remember that feeling, the crushing weight on my chest, the suffocating darkness. At first, I didn't understand what was happening. One moment I was lying in bed, trying to rest after a long day at work, and the next moment, I felt as if my body was shutting down. It wasn't like falling asleep. It was different. It felt as though I was being pulled away from everything. My body wasn't responding. I could no longer move or breathe. I felt totally helpless. Then, everything around me became silent. At first, I thought I was dreaming, but this silence was so deep, so real, that I quickly realized something extraordinary was happening. Suddenly, I felt lighter, as if I were no longer in my body. I no longer felt the weight of the world on my shoulders, nor the pain. It was as if everything I knew had vanished, and that's when I saw him, Jesus. His presence was completely indescribable, something I could never have imagined. It wasn't just the peace I felt, it was pure, overwhelming power that kept me from looking away. His eyes were filled with so much love and truth, and in that moment I knew he could see everything. Every secret I was hiding, every sin I thought no one knew about. He saw it all. I wasn't just a woman before him. I was a completely open, defenseless soul, and yet he didn't look away. He didn't scold me or push me away. He simply looked at me with an understanding I could not fully grasp. But then he began to show me something I wasn't prepared for. He showed me my life. I saw each choice. I saw the moments I thought were insignificant, those I believed no one would notice. That's when he revealed a truth I hadn't expected to see. He showed me the impact of something I had always justified, something I thought was harmless: masturbation. I had convinced myself it was a private matter, something no one needed to know. I thought it only affected me. But when I was before Jesus, I saw how this habit was eroding my relationship with God, how it opened doors for the enemy to act in my life. Every time I gave in to this practice, I was giving the enemy more power to attack me spiritually, weakening my connection with God even further. It hit me like a punch to the gut. I was completely shaken, as if every fiber of my being had been struck. How could I have thought that this was just a private sin, something without real consequences? The weight of it all hit me with an intensity I can hardly express. But what happened next truly changed everything. Jesus didn't condemn me. He didn't look at me with disdain, nor did he tell me it was too late to change. Instead, he looked at me with compassion and said, "You can be free. You don't have to live this way anymore." If you've ever struggled with something you thought was too shameful to speak of, or something too personal to matter, please stay with me. The truth I learned at that moment could be exactly what you need to be set free as well. I was frozen, paralyzed, while Jesus showed me things I wasn't ready to see. My entire life was laid bare before me like an open book. I thought I knew everything about myself, but I was completely wrong. I saw the truth behind my actions, things I considered harmless, things I had convinced myself didn't make a difference. But then, he revealed something so deep, something so powerful, that it shook me to my core. He showed me how masturbation, something I had always regarded as a private matter, actually affected my connection with him, with God. I had never understood it this way before. I thought it was something personal, without major repercussions. But at that moment, with Jesus right in front of me, the truth could no longer be ignored. Every time I indulged in that habit, it wasn't just a physical release. It was so much more than that. It was a spiritual choice. Each time I gave in, I was creating a barrier between myself and God. The more I kept it hidden, the more I felt distant from his presence. Jesus showed me something even deeper, how this was opening doors to the enemy. It wasn't harmless, as I had imagined. Every time I gave in to temptation, I was granting the enemy access to areas of my life, allowing him to sow lies and deceit in my heart. I was nurturing something dark within me, something that wasn't aligned with God's will. It was a shock. I wanted to turn to Jesus and say to him, "No, this can't be true." But as I gazed into his eyes, filled with love and truth, I saw how it affected my mind, my soul, and even my emotions. In that moment, I felt like I was suffocating. That's when I realized I was living in the shadows, believing that my actions didn't matter. I had no idea of the weight of it all. But here's the question. Jesus didn't condemn me. He didn't yell at me or make me feel disgusting. He didn't humiliate me. On the contrary, he said something that changed everything. You don't have to continue this way. You don't have to live in captivity. You can be free. It was at that moment that I understood I no longer had to walk in darkness. There was hope. There was a way out. But for that, I had to make a choice, to confront the truth of what I was doing and decide to change. And this isn't just my story. It's for anyone still living in the shadows, believing that their sin doesn't matter. I know it's hard to face the truth, but believe me, it's the first step toward freedom. If you feel the weight of this right now, if these words touch your heart, please don't turn away. Stay with me. There is so much more than this, and I promise you, freedom is possible. You don't have to be a prisoner of this any longer. There before Jesus, I felt the weight of everything I had done. It wasn't just the big mistakes I had made, but also the small decisions. Every moment I chose something that wasn't aligned with God's will, those things I kept hidden, which I considered small, but were in reality significant. I had to face all the truth. But at that moment, I couldn't run away. It was as if Jesus was showing me my whole life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and helping me see that each of my decisions had consequences. I stood there feeling an overwhelming sense of shame, but I also realized something fundamental. I was responsible for everything, every decision, every action, even the little things I had ignored or excused. It wasn't just about the big sins, but the daily choices I had made. I had to take responsibility for those choices. But here's the crucial point. It wasn't about condemnation. It wasn't about guilt or shame. It was about truth. As difficult as it was to face, the truth has the power to set you free. I remember looking at Jesus and feeling a deep fear, a sincere regret. But even at that moment, even with all my mistakes laid bare, Jesus didn't turn away from me. He didn't reject me. He looked at me with love, and instead of condemning me, he simply showed me the truth. And in that truth, I found a chance for redemption. I know that facing your own sins, mistakes, and weaknesses isn't easy. That's precisely why most of us choose to hide, to avoid confronting what hurts or embarrasses us. But you have to ask yourself, what are you running from? What are you hiding from? What decision have you made that deep down you know is wrong, but you've convinced yourself doesn't matter? Believe me, it matters, every single one of them. Every choice you make carries weight, and if you hear this now and feel the weight of the truth, don't turn away. Don't shove it down. There is something in your life that God is calling you to confront, something you need to face. And it's not about perfection, it's about acknowledging the truth and choosing to change. This is your chance. The truth is calling you, and if you ignore it, you risk losing the freedom it brings. Don't wait. Don't ignore the call. It's time to face the weight of your actions, to take responsibility, and to walk toward the light. I saw myself there before Jesus, feeling the weight of every mistake, every wrong choice, every regret. I thought it was too late, that I had no hope left. How could I fix everything I had done? How could I reverse the consequences of my mistakes? But at that moment, something happened, something I hadn't anticipated. A sensation of light, warm and soft, yet strong at the same time. And in that instant, I understood that the weight of my sins was not the end. It didn't have to be the end. There was a chance to change, a chance to start over. That's what Jesus showed me. He didn't just reveal my mistakes. He showed me that I didn't have to remain attached to them, that I didn't have to let those mistakes define me forever. He didn't condemn me. He didn't tell me there was no hope left. Instead, he offered me something far greater, an opportunity for change, a chance for forgiveness, a chance to begin. And that's what I'm telling you today. You don't have to remain a prisoner of your mistakes. You don't have to continue carrying guilt, shame, or fear. There is hope. There is freedom. You no longer need to run from your past or pretend it doesn't matter. The truth, though difficult to face, has the power to set you free. When you confront the truth, it's as if a weight is lifted off you. You realize that you don't need to be perfect, that you don't need to have everything figured out. You just have to be willing to face the truth, accept forgiveness, and choose a new path. I didn't think there was a way out, but now I know there is. And you can make that choice too. It's not too late. Don't let the moment pass where you feel like everything is over. You can start today. You can change today. But the decision is yours. You must choose now. Don't let this chance slip away. Believe me, the freedom and peace you will find in this choice, you just have to take the first step, and I promise you that once you do, you will never look back. The weight will disappear. The fear will fade away, and you will be free. Now, take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you truly took a moment to reflect on your life and the choices you've made? I know we're all busy, rushing around, trying to manage our responsibility. But I've been on the other side, and I can tell you something you may not want to hear. Time is not infinite. There comes a moment when it's too late to turn back and make a change. I've seen it, I've felt it, and believe me, you don't want to reach that point. So tell me what's holding you back. Is it fear, guilt, shame? Maybe you've done things you're not proud of, things you've tried to run away from. Whatever it is, don't ignore it any longer. Freedom is within your reach. You just need to choose to accept it. But listen closely. There is a path to follow. Today, you have the opportunity to reflect, to realign your course, but only if you take action. I had a moment when I saw what would happen if I didn't change. I saw the consequences of my choices, and believe me, I felt it deep within. The greatest fear was what I could become if I didn't make a decision. The fear of not having a second chance, and you have a chance now. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't let life pass you by without asking where you are headed. Reflect on the path you're taking. Are you truly happy where you are? Are you living in accordance with what you know is right, or are you stuck, pretending everything is fine while deep down you know it's not? Please, don't let this moment slip away. You have the power to take the first step, to think, and to act. Because once you make that decision, freedom and peace will feel like nothing you've ever known. You can feel that too, the weight lifting off your shoulders, the fear of what might happen fading away. But you have to make that choice. It's all in your hands. You can take action today, reflect on your life, make that change. You can keep pretending you have all the time in the world, but I'll tell you this, time is not something you can control. Don't wait until it's too late. Take the first step, and I promise you won't regret it. The clock is ticking, and you can't let this chance slip away. Act now. When I was at the brink of life and death, I felt the weight of everything I had done and everything I had not done. I saw the mistakes, the regrets, the people I had hurt, and the chances I had missed. But then, something changed. A light appeared, so bright and so pure that it seemed to erase everything else. And in that light, I saw something I did not expect: redemption. It wasn't a grand gesture or a spectacular miracle. It was a silent and powerful understanding that, even with all the mistakes and wrong turns, there was still a path to peace, a path to healing. And that path could start now. Even you. See, the hardest part is believing it's too late. I thought that too. I thought that everything I had done could not be undone. But I learned that's not true. It's never too late. No matter how far you've gone, no matter the depth of the pain, there is always a way back. There is always hope if you're willing to change. I want you to feel what I felt in that moment. There is still time for you. Don't think you're too far gone or that you've missed your chance. The light and hope are waiting for you too. They are waiting for you to take that step. But here's the crucial point. You need to act. Don't expect things to magically mend themselves. The choice is in your hands, and you can make it. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt stop you. But I promise you, redemption is real. It's waiting for you, just as it awaited me. But you have to reach for it. It's time to let go of what holds you back. It's time to take the first step toward the light, peace, and freedom. Don't wait any longer. This moment right here and now could be your turning point, so seize it. Don't let it slip away. Redemption is closer than you think. If this message has touched your heart, remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Leave a comment below whether it's a prayer, your testimony, or just your thoughts on this transformative experience. Let's continue this conversation and support each other. You never know who is waiting to hear exactly what you have to say. Until the next video.